Hello guys, it's Isabel Amber Scroll and welcome back to a new Star Stable video. In today's, I am going to be doing another SSO story time since tomorrow is the Wednesday update and I didn't have anything exciting planned for today of like any normal videos, so I was just like, I'm just going to post this story time video today instead of Thursday. And it'll give us something exciting to watch before the Wildwoods quest update. And you probably know the title for this video is I did decorate my room for Christmas early. And please comment down below if any of you guys did that, because I want to know if I'm not the only one that did that. But yes, there was an incident when I was doing it. So without anything else, let's get straight into this video. I don't know where to start in this. I could just say I did decorate my room for Christmas. I don't have the lights on right now because I have all of them usually on from like once I get up to once I go to bed. So it's kind of like 24 hours of all the lights on. So I don't have them on today, but my room is kind of small, so I wanted to like decorate it as much as I could, and I was going to be busy on Thanksgiving week. And I was like, I'm just gonna get this done before Thanksgiving and not after, because after I get done and it goes into December, I usually don't decorate my room. And I was like, once I get this done, I will just get it up. And usually, once I think of it, I don't do it, and it usually has to wait a couple weeks or days. But I did get them up, and they are actually, it made my room look so cozy, and I'm just in love of how I did this. My hobbies are actually creating stuff. So I actually created this snowflake that I hung on top of my ceiling above my bed, and it actually looks really cute. It's like this giant snowflake. So it's a really big snowflake. I say it's pretty big. I wasn't expecting it to be that big, but I'm kind of like, I do origami. And I also made a paper tree. It's a small paper tree, but it took me about 5 hours to get it done because I didn't have any right glue to use. So I had to use this really bad glue and it wouldn't stick. So I had to hold it for like 20 minutes to get it to dry, and it was not fun, but I finally got it done, and it does look like one of those pine trees that you use for Christmas trees, and I thought it ended up really well. I was thinking of making a paper origami star to put on top, but I was like, I really just like having a plain tree on it. And then really, there's not much of else that I decorated. I'm still working on it, and I haven't gotten to the whole done being finished decorating. We should just get to how the incident happened. So I was kind of up late trying to finish it because I had to go up and collect my Christmas lights to hang up around my room. And I got all that stuff down, and a little bit later, after I was done actually hanging up all the Christmas lights, I was like, you know what, I should just go and get some more like picture frames for like pictures that I actually do draw a lot, and most of my profile pictures are what I draw. So, I mean, I'm actually really surprised that I do draw. I am still working on getting a online iPad app for like Procreate, just to start using my drawing as like Instagram posts or something. But I was just like, I don't know. But after that, I still have stuff to draw, but I am on a hold with all the pictures because the incident had to do with the frames. And you know when you go to the store and you get those picture frames, and on the back they have like these things, like these folds you have to lift up to like get the whole picture the fake picture that they used to just advertise it with. I had to get it out, and it did not go so well. So I got it. The first thing, I did get it out, and then I decided the internet went out, and I couldn't find my drawings that I had, and it went so bad. I was just like, I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow because the internet's out and it's not working. That's what I did. So then I went and I was like, I'm not going to have these picture frames on my bed so I can't sleep. I was like, I'm gonna put them back in and hook them up and then hang them back on my wall until tomorrow. Well, those little flaps were a little bit more than I could handle. I did manage to push one down, and then the next one, I actually have long nails. I grow them myself. I don't have fake nails. The ones I use are real. And I actually had my one finger got lifted up the nail and got caught in the flap. But that's not the injury. I had like maybe 2 injuries, but luckily my nail didn't get peeled off, and I was really happy about that because it only takes me about, like, if I said 1 month, my nails would be like super long and it would be really freaky. And I wouldn't want that to happen. So it only takes a week for my nails to grow back. But I mean, I'm okay if they did break and I could just grow them back. But that wasn't the only thing that happened. I went to take another one because I actually don't feel pain. Sometimes I doze off and am so focused on getting everything finished that I don't know what's going on around me. Well, I guess I accidentally scraped my finger against a nail or a staple. I accidentally ran my finger against a staple or a nail, and I didn't feel it, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna continue on. And then I looked down and I was just like, I felt something that wasn't completely right. I looked down and I see a lot of red stuff on my bed, and I'm like, what the heck happened here? There's nothing around me that was doing stuff, and at that point, my finger wasn't bleeding. But I looked down a second time after like a minute, and my whole hand was covered in it. And that next morning I was like, that was just a murder scene that went off because it looked so bad. But usually the fingers and your face are usually like they look much worse than when it's all not done. It looks so much worse than it is. So it didn't look as bad as it should have been, but I was like, okay, I've got to go get something because this is metal rusty, because I've had this one picture over like 3 years. I was like, I'm gonna have to like get something to make sure this isn't infected. And I was literally scrambling around, and I haven't messed with that picture for a couple of days now, but I am doing fine. It's healing, but I would have to say it was pretty deep. So I didn't feel it, thank goodness, because I don't think I would have wanted to feel a nail or staple getting inside my finger and cutting it. That's just my opinion. But I decided to make other stuff instead of messing with the pictures, and I'm just not wanting to mess with that. It was just terrifying. I'm not that person who gets afraid of all these injuries. I've had way too many injuries to be afraid of them. I would have to say I am prone to actually injuring myself. Most of these storytime videos are me injuring myself. I just look back at that now and find out what happened about that. That's just mostly all what the storytime videos are, is me injuring myself. It's actually quite interesting to go back and watch all of them over the past few years. And this injury actually happened 3 to 4 days ago. To remind myself, I shouldn't actually do that. I actually shouldn't mess with pictures anymore since I was just really prone that night to injuring myself, but I am completely fine right now. If you're going to ask, thank you so much, but I am fine. I am still working sometimes. I know I was making a list of all of stuff that I had to do. I actually ran my finger that actually got hurt across the paper, and it really hurt. But now that I look back at it and think, I was just like, thank goodness I did not feel that. Because if there was a nail that actually ran through my finger and I felt it, I would literally be almost in tears, because if I'm not paying attention to anything and I do feel it, I will actually get very sick about what's happening around me. And I don't pass out. I don't pass out at all, but I would get very sick if I felt it myself. But mostly, my lesson is not to mess with pictures in the middle of the night. I would have to wait. And plus, I didn't have a toothpick or something to put the flaps of the picture frame down, and it was only my nails, and I was afraid I was going to break my nail off, but I cut myself instead. And I hope some of these next story times are not going to be about me injuring myself. That's not very interesting. I mean, for some people, even for me, to go back through the years and just look at all of this, I start laughing. It's funny because you could see how prone I was to injuring myself. Trying to see if there's anything else clear to say about this incident. I did have to wrap my finger around in gauze for the next couple of days because I had to go to like the grocery stores to get food and go everywhere else where germs are. And I'm the person who doesn't like germs. I want to keep myself safe. But I didn't want my hand to be finger to be infected and have to go to the doctor and everything. And I was just like, I'm just gonna wrap it around in gauze and keep it safe because I don't want to get infected with stuff. And you never know what is out there. That's disgusting to think about that. But then I had to go somewhere else and I took the gauze out because it could swell up anytime when you have something that your finger can't breathe. So I had to rewrap it in a band-aid, and I'm fine right now. I don't have it on and it's luckily not infected. So I took care of myself very good, even though I didn't know what to do back then. I just put some peroxide on it and I'm completely fine now. And I'd have to say, my older self is way more prone to incidents than my younger self. I don't know what is with it. I'm just going to try to keep myself from not getting injured as much as I just hope I don't get injured as much, but that's all I could practically remember. I should have done it the day after, because the day after I would have remembered so much, and I just didn't feel like it because I had the gauze wrapped around my hand, and that is the finger I use to push the buttons while I'm recording. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna save it till a couple days after, just so to make sure that I don't injure it anymore. You know what did happen? At one of the places, I did hit my hand on something and it reopened it, and I was just like, no, I just reopened it. This shouldn't have happened. It was dangerous, and then I had to put everything back in, and it was still looked infected, but it is better now, and it's still there. I could still see it, but at least it's not as bad as it was, so I'm happy about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this storytime video. Comment down below if you have any stories like this, because I would love to hear them, and maybe when we reach a specific amount of subscribers, I can go and reread them on a video, because I do love to do story times a lot now. Make sure to like and subscribe down below. Also follow me on Instagram at IsabelAmberScroll, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!